It is the policy of the United States to take all necessary and appropriate actions consistent with U.S. law, treaties, and other international agreements to which the United States is a party, and customary international laws determined for the United States by the President to enhance the security of and protect U.S. interest in the maritime domain. The United States, like many other nations, is highly dependent on the oceans for its security and the welfare of our people and economy. More than 80% of the world's trade travels by water. 75% of the world's maritime trade and half of its daily oil consumption pass through less than 10 international straits and canals. Increasingly, too, is the growth in the use of the maritime domain for terrorist and criminal purposes. Drug trafficking, piracy, smuggling of people, weapons, and other contraband, armed robbery of vessels at sea, and terrorist acts, such as the 2000 attack against the USS Cole, are indications of the augmented organizational and technological capabilities of transnational terrorist groups operating in the maritime domain. In response to these maritime threats, the United States government has issued National Security Presidential Directive 41, Homeland Security Presidential Directive 13, National Strategy for Maritime Security, as well as a national plan to achieve maritime domain awareness. The focus of these policies is the ability of the U.S. to detect, deter, and defeat maritime-borne threats from a hostile nation or transnational terrorist organization, possibly possessing a weapon of mass destruction at the greatest distance from our shores. The maritime domain has been defined as all areas and things relating to the sea, ocean, or other navigable waterways and includes ports, critical infrastructure, people, cargo, and vessels. The first step toward enhancing our maritime security is achieving increased awareness of activities in the maritime domain. To achieve this awareness, the U.S. Coast Guard, in partnership with the U.S. Navy and other federal and intelligence agencies, is developing an initiative called Maritime Domain Awareness, MDA. The Navy plays a leading role within the Department of Defense for developing MDA because it provides significant distributed maritime intelligence, collection, fusion, and dissemination capabilities to a wide variety of warfighters and other users, and at various levels of classification. The purpose of MDA is to generate actionable intelligence to provide the Navy and Coast Guard with shared enhanced situational awareness for the surveillance and tracking of suspect vessels, maritime interdiction and interception operations, force protection, and other counterterrorist operations. Beginning in January 2005, the U.S. Navy, OPNAV N-75, the U.S. Navy Reserves, and the U.S. Coast Guard, in conjunction with the Center for Asymmetric Warfare, joined together to develop, plan, and execute an end-to-end demonstration of MDA. We define an end-to-end MDA capability as the initial detection and tracking of suspicious activities well outside the continental United States, followed by the persistent surveillance of likely maritime-borne threats as they transit to the approaches of the United States and then begin entry to U.S. ports. A critical function of an end-to-end MDA capability is the dissemination, in or near real time, of all source information across multiple agencies so that the necessary precautions may be prepared and so that each government and military entity can collectively contribute to preventing a maritime terrorist attack, including state and local agencies such as law enforcement and emergency services. This multi-agency MDA exercise was conducted August 15th through the 19th, 2005, and was called the Gulf Coast Maritime Domain Awareness Exercise Initiative 2005, or Gulf Coast MDA for short. Gulf Coast MDA was also coordinated with and conducted in support of U.S. Coast Guard Sector Mobile Command Post Exercise CPX Liberty Sweep, which was designed to meet an annual certification requirement for the port of Pascagoula, Mississippi. The Naval Air Systems Command Center for Asymmetric Warfare, also known as the CAW, was tasked by the Navy to be the lead exercise execution agent for Gulf Coast MDA. Based on CAW's years of experience in leading complex multi-agency homeland security, homeland defense exercises, and experiments. The CAW is a U.S. Navy agency dedicated to supporting U.S. military forces as well as local, state, and federal organizations in recognizing, countering, and controlling the effects of asymmetric warfare in support of the global war on terror. As the lead exercise agent for Gulf Coast MDA, the CAW was responsible for all aspects of exercise design, execution, control, as well as data collection, safety monitoring, and public affairs. Facilities used for the Gulf Coast MDA exercise were located in the environs of the port of Pascagoula, primarily at Naval Station Pascagoula, Mississippi. The Joint Maritime Domain Awareness Fusion Center, JMFC, at NS Pascagoula housed a Navy Reserve Mobile Multi-Intelligence C4ISR system and hosted the Exercise Control Center and CAW's MDA Intelligence Cell. CAW's technical team provided secure, unclassified, as well as classified exercise websites for exercise planning and posting of intelligence reports. A local area computer network was designed and implemented by CAW technicians that linked various sites through several software tools and video feeds to provide situational awareness to CAW's exercise control and intelligence cells and to the unified command post. One such tool was the Joint Conflict and Tactical Simulation System, provided by the Army's Fort Lewis Battle Simulation Center.